Welcome back, students. So uh, now we will be talking about how we can add a same menu bar for multiple activities. So for that particular specific purpose, what we need to do, we need to add a class, okay, and we can name it whatever we want, but let us make it a main menu bar base activity, okay, and make sure that this particular specific activity is actually the child of the activity. And here we the method that we have implemented here, this one, we are going to remove this method from here and put it inside that particular specific here. And the other thing, that this particular specific implementation of the on click activity I also put in that particular specific method, and then try to like remove these things from the main. So I will just say that I want to sign out, so we can say that we have a private void sign out student method is going to take that particular specific part and put it over there. And then here we are going to like sign out method call. Okay, so it will make the things like much more easier for us to manage. So we know that sign out method, so if there is some change that we need to do, we need to go and do it inside this particular specific method. We can also have the other cases here. So if I just try to add other cases here as well, okay, like here, so we have the app bar home, okay, what, okay, I have not okay, yeah, app bar home is not there, so let me add that thing here. When I created that particular specific thing, then I did not put the id home bar here, so I just add bar here. And the other thing is, we don't have those home methods. Let me introduce these things here quickly and show you here. So we have that particular home method, go home. We also have a boolean value, that is a static value that I'm putting here, okay. Okay, I just need to add enter. I put that particular specific static value. So we are saying that whenever we are going from the main activity or the home activity or the welcome activity, if we go to the add enrollment, we making is boolean as a false. If we are at the home, then we can say it's true. So his home is equal to true by default, okay, in the beginning, because if we are at the home. Or we can also don't say anything, and then inside the main menu, inside this particular specific, what you can say that student main activity, where is the student main activity, inside the student main activity, we can here once we are like inside this particular specific activity, yep, here we can say that is home. But the point is, we need to make sure that we are main menu bar base activity, and then we can is home is equal to true. And then we also need to override that particular specific thing on student main activity. I also, what you can say that on start, whenever there is a, we are going to start on start, and then we can simply say that is home is equal to true. And make sure that you are making that particular specific variable static, so that we can change it from any activity and it is accessible. That specific value, true or false, is accessible in all different type of activities which are the child of this main activity. We also need to have that particular specific the other method, student enrollment method. So student enrollment method is again that's like adding the enrollment, so we can have that particular specific method here. So here again we are saying that student enrollment, if it is not in the home, if not home, finish that activity. If it is home, make it, make on false, and then start the add enrollment activity. And then the same thing is the user information. So for the user information, we have not yet created that activity, but definitely once we are going to create it, we are going to use that particular specific. And let me make that as a finish. And we also have the user information, okay, remote database, user information, okay. We also have this one, this activity we have not created, so we are not going to do that. So right now, so we have this particular specific main class, and here we have a static list of static things. So maybe we don't need that course, okay, course list. So actually maybe we don't need. So I'm putting that student here as well. So now in the main, I don't need that particular specific student, and then that particular specific student is actually initialized here, okay. And then in the add enrollment, where we are saying that student activity dot student, we don't need to do that because we are going to access that particular specific thing from the main menu bar. Now the student activity is also the child of this main menu bar activity. Add enrollment is also the child of the main menu bar activity, and that's why we can access the student object from directly from that particular main menu bar. We don't need to ask the main activity to provide us the access to that one. So that's why we don't need it. Course list, again we are providing the course list. Course list is not necessarily we okay, we will see, but right now we are. So now if I just try to, now what I have done here, I created a activity, a class, whatever you name you want to make it, it's not necessarily the activity, and make it a child class of the app compat, which is the normal parent class of the activity class, okay. And then our activities that we are adding in this project, we are extending or making them the child of this particular specific main menu bar activity. And in this specific main menu bar, we have implemented this on create menu options, on options item selected, so all those things here. So similarly, if I just try to that, like instead of starting that particular specific activity, I can simply say that start add student enrollment. What is the name of this particular specific method? So we have a sign out, we have information, add student enrollment. So we can say add student enrollment method on the click event. When we say information, so we say student information. What is the name of the method? We say the sign out is okay. So user information, so we say user information method, which is going to start the activity for the user information that we are going to implement next. But right now I want to show you that all the functions that have been implemented in there, we can just use it in the child classes without any issue, okay. So we have this, we have on start, activity is home, and then we can run that particular specific activity. No, okay. So now if I just try to enroll, you can see even I can click on that one, it is going to start that particular specific thing. If I click on that one, it is going to finish it, but not starting the other activity for that one. We can also have this one, again it is not going to do anything. Okay, so now it say that you are have logged in, logged out. Okay, so let me rerun this thing. Yeah, but due to some reasons, when I here and click this one and click this one, click this one, click this one, it is removing the admin from the, because it's finished the activity. So don't worry about that. Once we will have that particular specific things, then it will be fixed, because we are clicking on the same two things, and it is going to when we click on that, we need to make sure that whenever this add method is called, it is finished, and then we say that home is equal to false, and then start the new activity. Again it say is home is equal to false, but it not starting the other activities. That was one of the reason. Next time it come back, it finished. Okay, so fine, that is okay. So now you can see that we have the same kind of what you can say that the home. The other thing that I have done in the background while I have added a few methods here. Okay, so all these, like the methods which are helping us to perform different things with the DAO, I have added those things in my view model and in the data model as well, which we may be using, which we will be using in the next other activities as well. So I mean, these are just, I have added all those. I mean, we need to map the methods in the view model with the data model, and with the data model from our course DAO, Android enrollment DAO, and the student DAO. Okay, so now we want we have implemented, we have seen that how we can have the same kind of we have implemented that part. We also have implemented the student main, because we are calling this particular specific. Enrollment is done, we don't need to have another thing over there. Now we are talking about the another new activity, which is actually to present the student information, and then we can change those informations. So here we can say that we can name it as a student, how we can name student information activity, student information activity, and we say click finish. Once we click finish, I will just go quickly and what you can say that I want to implement that particular specific layout. So first of all, I want to make it a linear layout, changing the orientation to the vertical, and the gravity is equal to horizontal center. And in that particular specific okay, maybe I even, because maybe it is going to the scroll view. Okay, and then we don't need that particular specific things, because this is the properties of, and then in between I am going to add that particular specific linear layout here, in case that particular things go out of the screen. So here we have a few things here. For example, of course, title, the line, and then we have 3 buttons here which are representing, we can edit the information of the user. We can, when we click on the update, it will update the information in the database, and then when we say cancel, it will be cancelled. So for these buttons we have the click event. Let me introduce those events here, add those methods inside of a class. Okay, so we say yes, the third one is also yes. Okay, so once we have done that, so we will try to open our student information activity and see what we can do. So in the student information activity, there are a few things that we need to make sure. First of all, we have the student, remember, so we need to make it the child class of the main, so that it also show me the same menu. And the other thing is in that particular specific menu, we also have the student object, which is initialized in the student main activity, and it has the information about the student. Okay, so it has the information about the student, so we can use that particular specific student object and initialize those values inside our what you can say that inside our all those edit text and the spinels. So I'm just trying to initialize a few things here. So because we want to change the enable and disable those buttons, so that's why I'm making them, as well as because we want to perform some specific database operation, so we need a view module for that one. So I have initialized that and put that particular specific variable here, and then I have what you can say that initialize these variables based on the IDs which I have given in the layout. So now we have to what you can say that we have to set user information. So we are setting the user information. So I'm just trying to have this particular specific method, and inside this particular specific method, so we have the new simple date format. It's a format not at e at the end, simple date format, and it is going to show me that particular specific. So here we are putting the username, then password, first name, last name, address information, suburb, city, postcode, and if it is male and or the female, then based on that we are selecting the appropriate index value from the spiner. We also showing up the date, and then we also have the get birth date, and then showing that on the this one, and then we also have the username. So we are trying to and then at the end we can simply say that we want to set user information. It means all these variables, these UI components will have the information from the student's object. The other thing is that I want to do is to disable these UI components in the beginning. Okay, in the beginning I want to make them set disabled set enabled false. So or everything is if it is enabled false, so we are saying that everything is disabled except that particular specific edit button. If edit button is enabled, so and cancel, of course cancel is also enabled. We don't need to worry about the cancel. Anytime you can cancel it and come back to the main activity. Okay, so we have initialized a few things here. So once we click on the edit button, okay, it will enable that particular specific. So we can say that when you click on the edit button, it will set editing true. It will not do anything else, just enabled those fields so the user can modify. And in the cancel form, in the cancel is again quite simple, so we can just simply finish. Okay, finish this particular specific activity. And the other thing, because we are going to change the information inside our students table, so we need to make sure, remember that we have the email verification and the mobile verification. If the changes are being done, then we have to make sure that they are valid changes, they are not invalid changes. Okay, and after once we have done that, we can simply what you can say that in the update part, when we want to update the information. So I'm not going into we are saying that we have, first of all we want to make updation false, because we have updated the information, there is no more changes required. Okay, or maybe we can put it at the end or before, doesn't matter. So string, maybe we want to put it at the end. The reason is that due to some reason, if that particular specific updation failed, then what we need to do. Okay, and maybe we can say return or something. Okay, so we say we have all the string values, we get all the values from our, just like that we have done in the sign up. Okay, I get all those values in the string variables, and then valid make sure that username or the email is not empty, and email is valid. Once email is valid, first name, last name, password, DOB, date of birth, and the mobile, they are not also not empty. And if it is a valid mobile number, then we are going to add the things here, and again we are need to convert into the format. So exactly the same thing that we have done in our what you can say that inside our sign up, except that we don't have that like get the next student ID, because we already have the ID and everything. So we are just trying a date of birth, so we are trying to get that particular date of birth into a date object. And once we have the date object, we are setting the student object, which is there inside our main menu bar based activity. So we are set the values, username, last name, update. We are changing the values inside the student object, and at the end we are saying that view model dot update student. And if it does not return me 0, it means that it has updated one record. If it is updated, show me that particular specific success message, and finish that particular specific activity. So not now, we need to go and change that particular specific thing here. So if we look at that, we make that particular information user information editing. Okay, so we are going to change that particular specific thing. So we are going to rerun that particular specific application. No, not running. Okay, yeah, he's coming up. So let me add another enrollment for this particular specific student and see that it is working, that particular specific things. Okay, and now if I just click on that one, it is going to take me over there. Now if I just click on those things, I cannot change the things unless and until I added the things. And let me add a 9 here. When I say 9 here, I am changing that particular specific password, and then I say update. It is giving me the error message. And what is the error message? Okay, so it says that inside this one, whenever this particular specific thing, so it said that it could not execute the method, illegal Java exception, and when attempt to invoke the virtual method, this update student on a null object reference data model dot student. So it say that, I mean, it's a null pointer exception that occurred. So where exactly? So we say that student information activity, inside the student information activity, it say that the student, or did we initialize the view model? We have the view model, and did we initialize it? No, we have not initialized that view model. So we need to make sure that we need to have that view model is equal to new weak view model, and then get application context. So let me rerun that particular specific application and see. We make sure that we edit it and add a 9 here. Okay, and then I say update. Yep, it is updated. And I will show you another wonder here. So when I just try to rerun that application, it is going to come back here. Why? Because I have changed the password. When I change the password inside my shared preferences is the old one, not the new one. So definitely I need to again not alice dot wonder at disney.com, and now we say that 9. So when you say 9, click on the login, we are there. So but now, I mean, because every time we get the information from these shared preferences, and if the password has changed, it is not going to log in again. You have to log in by giving the new password. So that is how we can play with the you can say that the room database. So in the next practical demo, we will see that how we can connect it with the remote database server or the Firebase cloud database, and then replicate all the information from our local database into the cloud database and see. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.